Recorded Books presents an unabridged recording of Miss Julia Stands Her Ground by Anne B. Ross, narrated by Cynthia Darlow and directed by Rob Granis. This book is copyrighted 2006 by Anne B. Ross. This recording is copyrighted 2006 by Recorded Books. Although Miss Julia is looking forward to many peaceful and happy years with her new husband Sam, she still has plenty to worry about. For a start, Hazel Marie's troublemaking Uncle Vernon Puckett comes back to town with a rather unsettling claim. And now, Miss Julia Stands Her Ground.
Chapter 1. Hazel Marie? I walked up a couple of stair steps, craning my head to see if she had heard me. Hazel Marie, are you up there? I could hear her footsteps as she came out into the hall and poked her head over the banister. I'm here, Miss Julia. Come on up. I'm trying, I said, using the handrail to pull myself up the stairs, and thanking the Lord that I didn't have to do it a dozen times a day. To be free of that arduous climb and perilous descent was the result of having moved down to Hazel Marie's old room on the first floor, once Sam and I were firmly married. Hazel Marie had said the exchange of rooms was to give us privacy, and it did that, but I now think that she was more concerned with the preservation of life and limb. My life and limb, that is, since I wasn't getting any younger, which was more apparent every day I lived. What with stiffening joints and wobbling limbs and people deliberately mumbling instead of speaking up as they should. I finally gained the second floor and followed her into the room that Wesley Lloyd Springer and I had shared for 40-something years. Shared doesn't exactly give a clear picture of what went on there, however, because it's true that we slept in the same bed, but that joint enterprise had been more like two strangers who happened to end up next to each other on a train trip. He, however, had reached his destination, while I was still traveling. But that was neither here nor there, for many things had changed since my first husband shucked off these mortal coils, and I'd learned to stand up for myself and do pretty much as I pleased. Phew, I said, relieved to sink down into an easy chair by the front window. I caught my breath and surveyed the changes in the room. Hazel Marie, you've done a lovely job in here. I wouldn't recognize it as the same room, and it pleases me to be able to say that. Oh, I'm so glad you like it. I just love it. Hazel Marie turned slowly around, her eyes shining with pleasure at what she and Opal Nixon, Abbotsville's correspondence course decorator, had wrought. The room was done in pink, and when I say done in pink, I mean pink wallpaper, pink bedding, pink carpet, pink upholstery, and pink fixtures in the bathroom. But to give the two of them credit, there was nothing frilly or girlish about the decor. It was elegant, with gold fringes and gilt mirrors and gilt picture frames and a great deal of texture in the use of silk and taffeta and plush this, that, and the other. It wouldn't have been my choice, but then I'm much more conservative and traditional in my decorative choices than Hazel Marie. So I was happy that she liked it, and since the room was quite unlike the rest of the house, comforted by the fact that hardly anybody else would see it. Hazel Marie, I said, heaving a sigh to indicate that I had something more on my mind than bedroom decor. I'm just sick at heart over Little Lloyd. Oh, I am too. She slumped down into the matching pink velvet chair to my right. I couldn't get to sleep last night. I was so upset. He tried so hard to be brave, it nearly broke my heart, and we had to pretend that it wasn't such a big deal. I nodded, recalling how I too had tossed and tumbled, aching half the night over that child's tears he'd tried so valiantly to hide. Well, of course, it isn't a big deal in the cosmic scheme of things, but it is for him. But I'll tell you, Hazel Marie, I'd rather have a deep disappointment myself than for him to have one. I would do anything in the world to protect that child. Oh, me too. Her eyes filled with tears, and she sniffed before looking around for a Kleenex. Excuse me, I better get some toilet paper.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?